Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, July 21st City Council meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Bainey. Alderman Glad.
Here.
Alderman Doherty.
Here.
Alderwoman Bassey.
Here.
Alderman Davis.
Here.
Alderman Cook.
Here.
Alderwoman Miller is absent.
Thank you. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first item on the agenda is the promotion ceremony. This promotion is for Officer Jill Foley to the rank of Sergeant. Chief, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Council, for letting us take this opportunity to recognize Jill's promotion tonight. Jill, where you at? Come on up.
She's late.
I promised Jill I wouldn't make her give any big speeches, so I will hold true to that, but I do want to say a few words myself. Wow, I was going to put you at the back of the agenda because you've been waiting 26 years, so you could probably wait a little bit longer, but some people thought that probably would be inappropriate. A little bit of story about being a police officer. There's a lot of them in the room. Some of you are, some of you aren't. More days than not, this is not an easy job, and more times than not, you don't get to be here to celebrate something this special. I've had the privilege of promoting quite a few people in this room that are here to see Jill get promoted today, and it's by far the most humbling and proud moment that I've ever had as a chief. Jill, you're a little bit different. Jill and I started at the McHenry Police Department on the same day. We took our oath of office almost 26 years ago on the same day. We met each other on a track after we ran a half a mile for the first time, and we were all sweaty, and we were just so excited that we passed the power test and we were able to start our careers. And what a journey it's been. You've been a dear friend. You've been a dear coworker. I can't even tell you all the service that you've provided to this community. We don't have enough time tonight to count that. So the opportunity for me to stand here and get to promote you today, this is the biggest honor that I've had since I've been chief. So please, thank you. You ready? I, Jill A. Foley, having been appointed to the position of sergeant, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and the ordinances of the City of McHenry, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of a McHenry Police Sergeant according to the best of my ability. Do you want to introduce your family that's here with you tonight?
This is my daughter, Jenna. Nobody knows her, I know. My mom and dad, Patsy and Chris. My sister, Amy, and her husband, Nick. And then their children, Chase and Mason, my niece and nephew. Also, if you don't mind, I would like to say thank you to all of you that came out tonight. Not in uniform, in uniform, my coworkers, my past coworkers. I can't tell you what this means to me. So thank you so much.
First test, do you have a pen, Jill? You guys do not have to say.
I was just going to say that. You will not want to stay for this. Congratulations, Joe.
All right, let's go home.
All right, I wish we can go.
Feel good moment of the night.
Can we go home?
Yeah, we're done.
Can we go have some cake?
Yeah. I will tell you, in Hoffman, we would do the reception first before the.
Like an hour before, half an hour.
Yeah, we go, like, all the elected officials would actually be there and say congratulations. Kind of nice.
I always thought this was kind of weird. It's always been, even before him, it was like, yeah. I don't know. All right. Next item on the agenda is a discussion item. This is a conceptual presentation by EM8 Properties for 3510 West Elm Street. Public comment? We'll do public comment first. Is there any public comment this evening? Neil, would you like to give, are you regarding any of these presentations?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll wait for that presentation. Same thing with George and John Smith as well. We'll wait till those items and then you can have public comment after those. Thank you. All right. Now the next item on the agenda is discussion items, conceptual presentation EM8 Properties for 3510 West Elm Street. The presenters for EM8 can go ahead and head to the podium. If you don't mind, please state your name and addresses for public record. And if you could hit that center button, I'll turn on that mic. Thank you, sir.
My name is Neil Gertis, AKL Architectural Services. I'm the architect for this project.
Itamar Deshe, EM8 Properties. I'm the CEO of the company, I run the company.
Thank you.
And my address is 34121 North US Highway 45 in Grays Lake.
Thank you.
1710 Marcy Lane, Northbrook, Illinois.
Thank you, sir. All right. The floor is yours.
Okay, could we start the slides with the site plan first, please? Thank you. Do I do anything with this?
Right. to
Okay.
the right, I think.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Thank you. Oh, no site plan. Okay. Well, let me start by saying this is on the corner of Elm and Green Street. It's about 39,000 square feet, broken up between a basement, first floor, second floor, and a partial attic. Our plan is to make 33 unit apartments out of this building. Basement would be used probably for amenities such as workout space, lounge area, offices, mechanicals as well. Attic space won't probably be used for anything. We're looking at, like I said, 33 apartments ranging from between 550 square feet and about 2,100 square feet. Right now, we're in front of the board because right now the zoning district calls out that it can allow apartment buildings on the first floor, or sorry, the second floor, but not the first floor. We're looking for possibly a PUD amendment so that we can have apartment buildings on the first floor. Okay. You want to just real quickly, the exterior of the building is not going to be changed in any way other than potentially on the right-hand side over there where you see some of those first floor darkened areas. There is a stairway in that location. We'll be taking out the stairway and putting in units there. So there'll be a couple of buried windows that you really don't see on that elevation, but the exterior will remain just as is. Interiors should be up, on the first floor, that since we have a 16-foot ceiling height between the floor and the actual ceiling of the structure, we're going to divide that into two most likely and get loft spaces on that first floor. So in this version, you can see this has a loft on the second floor, or on the first floor, you walk to a second floor loft area. 1 to 3 bedrooms, a couple of efficiencies, depending on whether once we do the final measurement of the building, whether we can see we can get buildings with units with bedrooms as well. That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions?
So we'll go ahead and open it up for questions by the city council, comments. The whole point of this is just to see where the council stands on something like this. Any feedback that you can provide to EM8 would be greatly appreciated. And then maybe just a straw poll if you would like them to go a little further of, doing more due diligence and going from there. So I'll open up for public comment. Alderman Bainey.
I just want to say that we know that there's a need for apartments in the city of McHenry, and I absolutely love these designs. I feel like the loft is so unique to what you normally see in an apartment complex. And I'm really in favor of this. It's a small number of units. I would assume that the parking that is connected to that is going to be adequate for you. I don't know how many parking
2 to
lots are
1
in that
right there,
space.
and it's 2 to 1. Is that correct?
It's 1.5 to 1, and we're well over that number.
Right.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm definitely in favor of continuing to have discussions. I think you've done a really nice job presenting what the units would look like and a great use for that building. I know that it's possible to do a mixed use on that first floor, but just the proximity to the street in that building and just it's such a unique space, I would be in favor of an amendment that allowed you to do that first floor, second floor apartments as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would concur. I think it's a great use for the facility. Everything you've shown so far, sure, conceptual, but keep going on those lines. It looks great.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Doherty. Alderman Glad, go ahead.
Yeah. Tell me, what kind of hurdles have you gotten as far as considering this building was built in waves?
Yeah, this building has been added on to many times. I think you probably know it wasn't anywhere near this size at one point. So we're looking at that. We have to go through the entire building to do a measurement of everything that's there. In some cases, there's columns within a couple of feet of each other. We're trying to determine whether all those have to stay, and most likely they will. But nonetheless, we do have to do a complete analysis of this building to find out whether that 33 that we planned can actually be incorporated in the reality of the situation once we get to that level.
Okay, so in other words, it hasn't been totally engineered as far as how you would do this.
Not at all, because we need some idea from you whether we want to move forward with this, whether we can move forward with this before we actually take that step and spend that amount of time and effort.
One of my reservations, and again, I'm not too thrilled with the idea of adding more apartments in with everything we've approved over the last 6-7 years. Needs to be a balance in the community. Have you thought about creating these into condo units instead of apartments?
So first, no, I would comment on the retail first, that the main reason not to put retail on this side of the street is the pedestrian safety. It's not about the usage of the building, it's about the people something may happen to people who walk across the street too many times, and there's not gonna be enough use compared to all the busy street that have a lot of retail. We're a long-term holder. We believe in the community, we like it, and we prefer to hold it for a long term. We think it's a great place to be an owner and provide something like that. We tend to build only the best apartment we can, as well. We're keeping them for many years, and we just think it's a better product for the community and for ourselves. That's it.
Notice in the brochure, you kind of slightly touched on TIFs, and I can tell you right now that there isn't a lot of money left in the TIF as far as redevelopment for this type of developments. Now with the amount of years that we've got left and everything, and you're looking at a $10 million project?
Roughly
$10 million. Have
Yeah.
you looked at raising the building and what it would take to rebuild rather than trying to, sometimes a building like this, with considering the amount of different phases it was built and everything else, sometimes you're better off starting from scratch and building up rather than winding up with retrofitting this type of a building. And my concerns would be down the road, how many complaints we're going to have that this isn't fitting right, and just different types of problems within the units.
I could tell you right now, even with the columns that are there, we worked around the columns as you see in these elevations, these perspectives and renderings. So they're actually taken into account as they stand right now. And I think we can make some really nice units as they stand. What I'm looking for is to get out there and see if there's anything that can be removed and make even better ones. But this, as you're seeing, is with all those constraints in place.
And I may add that I think a retro building is nicer than coming here with a plan to 5-story huge building with parking underneath and a monster that doesn't fit the place. I think it's a great looking building. I heard that a few days ago there was a thunder that hit a piece of it or something, and so we have to fix and address the outside as well. I mean, it's not only a financial decision; it just looks like a great building to keep as is, and I think financially, it's not better to demo and build a new one.
We also have looked at the plans that we have, which we have somewhat complete plans. They still have to be addressed or checked out in the field. However, the plans that we show that this is a very solid building. It's well designed, and walking through the space, you can see that it is well constructed. Really nice ceiling heights on both floors, and the structure seems sound.
Well, just walking through a building isn't going to tell you how well constructed it is.
You can
I'm sorry.
feel it in some ways. Yeah.
First floor is 8 foot, right?
No, the
8
first
foot
floor is-
ceilings?
The first floor is actually 16 feet from floor to structure,
The open area, but like the area there, let's say above the kitchen.
7'6".
I'm sorry,
7'6".
7'6".
Yep.
And the upstairs loft is
7'6" as well.
7'6", so it's not even 8 foot ceiling. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go next. Thank you. I like lofts. I think they're very cool. I am concerned about the density. I think that 33 apartments is pretty dense for that area. It's a high traffic area. So would you be willing to reduce it to 20 units?
I don't think the deal is going to work at 20 units, and nobody is going to do something with it for 20 units. I am open to, take another look at my pro forma. There's 65 parking spots associated to that, and personally, I don't think 35 units there, or 33, or if we end up at 32, or whatever it's going to end up, the number. I don't think it's a big number, as it's not going to be families and many kids. It's not townhouses that you're actually building something that affects in a big way.
The 500 square feet units, are those going to be for rentals or Airbnbs?
No Airbnbs.
No Airbnbs.
Studio units,
They're all
traditional
rentals.
market rent.
Okay. What is going to be your rent range specifically for a 2-bedroom apartment? I know this is premature. Ballpark.
Market, probably 2,500 is the median 2-bedroom apartment here for a new product. I think our amenities are gonna be nicer than other buildings, give or take.
Okay. The current market rate for McHenry 2-bedroom is approximately $2,000 a month. So you would be 500 over the current market rate. Would you go down to the current market rate in McHenry?
I don't know how you got your market, and let's say this, I looked at the market rents, and they're a bit higher, at least for a new product, and not necessarily something that takes the average of a 60 product that never been renovated, but it's premature, and I don't think the rents are, we're not trying to get the higher rents, higher than anyone. The goal is to have a good product. And
Okay. What, and again, I'm in favor of ownership versus rental. I think the concept is really nice if it is ownership versus rental. So I'm putting that out there. What kind of financial incentives are you going to be asking the city for?
assistance and cooperation first, and it's honestly a math calculation. It's not I'm not going to ask for something I'm not allowed based on the taxes I produce. And there's TIF consultants that this is their job. I'm not.
Okay. Okay. So at this point, you're not really sure what kind of financial incentives you would be asking?
I'm asking for, to build 33 apartments in the building, and I hope you guys, say yes, and will help with the financial assistance that I can get based on.
The
you know,
increment.
Some.
Based on the increment.
Yeah, based on the increment. Thank you.
Okay. I just want to confirm that right now, for zoning, you should be at 1.5 parking spaces per unit. Is that what you plan on doing?
We have 65 parking
Yeah,
spots.
65, so we're well over that 1.5.
Okay. One last one, sorry. The parking space on the property is also currently being used for general parking. So this development is actually going to decrease the current parking available downtown. In addition to your necessary parking, will you be allowing general parking on the property?
No,
Okay,
it's a private property and it's not mine now, and I don't think if someone parks there and something happens, it's someone else's responsibility. I mean,
okay. All right, I've taken enough of your time. Thank you.
Alderman Davis?
My only question is, this pretty close to the design that you're looking for?
This is actually the design of one of the units,
Okay.
unit number 101. So if you have those other plans, you can actually see which one it is of.
Okay, so how many different plans will there be?
Oh, there's probably about 16 different plans per floor.
Are they, so this, let's say how this is laid out, the
finishes quality. you mean?
finish, all of
Same.
that, that's all gonna be consistent throughout? Okay, that's what I was asking, okay. Honestly, I think it's a great idea. I think they look nice. I don't think we really have anything higher end in this area. I think there is a demand for it. I am still trying to get the concept in my head for that building for this, but if you can make it work, I'm in favor of it.
Thank you. Alderman Cook?
Yeah, you can make it work. I like the concept. Just about the TIF, they're part of the TIF, correct?
Yeah, they're in the town.
Okay, so hopefully that'll be helpful. Okay, so yeah, I can go with it.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Glab, can you just give some insight on where you stand? I know you gave some comments, but
I still had a couple more
Go ahead,
questions.
go
if
for
I
it.
could.
Floor is yours.
Basically, nobody's ever discussed the basement there. You've got a pretty good sized basement. What do you plan to do with that?
he stated amenities.
It's gonna be amenity space used for the building for the tenants only. Because it's so big, we're gonna block a portion of it. We're not gonna use all of it. We're gonna offer like a work from home offices they can use. We're gonna use the vault as a lounge area, something nice and kind of modern and retro. And there's a big kitchen area that we'll use for the same purpose. And I think maybe storage. We may use it for storage for the tenants. We'll build nice cages or nice rooms.
You've done, how many redevelopments have you done in the last 10 years?
About 50.
I'm sorry,
About 50.
50?
50, sir.
Okay, and out of those 50, how many do you still own?
Not enough. About 25.
So
Half, maybe 20.
what's your intent here, to redevelop it and then sell it?
No, to hold it.
It is? Okay, thank you.
Can you give us, would you be in support of them moving forward or?
It's apartments, condos.
I kinda-
yes,
I just
but
want you-
apartments now.
Okay.
I still have reservations of redeveloping a building like this, so no,
Okay.
I wouldn't be.
Thank you. So against this would be Alderman Glab and,
I didn't get to.
go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I can appreciate that this property is a challenge to develop. I am concerned with the density and the high traffic in that area. So unfortunately, I am not in support of moving forward. And apartments versus condos also.
Thank you. So once again, you have Alderman Glab that's against this, and Alderman Bassi. Therefore, you have 5 yeses. Alderwoman Sue Miller wrote an email to the city council and myself regarding her support. We met with her last week to go over the presentation that you just gave. So she was in favor of that, so you got 5-2. to move forward. So that,
Right.
and at that point, you can reach out to Ross and discuss further, and then we can work with you and hopefully get to the next stages. And I appreciate you coming tonight.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions for us? Comments?
No, thank you very much for your time.
Thank
All
you.
right, gentlemen, have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next on the agenda is conceptual presentation by True North regarding Landmark School.
Good evening, and thank you for having me here.
George,
My
can you
na-
just state your full name and address for public record?
Yes, my name is George Ramchuk. I'm at 60 East Liberty in Wakanda.
Thank you. Floor is yours.
All right. I see Nick there. So I love old buildings. That's why I'm here. I see this school building that I kind of poked into a little bit. I've been passing through this town for about 20 years. I developed with Bob May in Richmond Fountainhead Corporate Center this metal buildings there on what is that, 173. And then about 20 years ago, I let him go. Scott Dixon bought him and somebody else owned it. I think 4 or 5 owners. So I was driving through this town and seeing what's happening, commercial coming, but I never stopped to do anything. But when this Landmark School kind of came on my race, somebody invited, somebody sent it to me. I really fell in love with that building. I'm from Ukraine. I came in '89 from former Soviet Union. My house, my parents' house, is 340 years old. If this war is not going to tear it down, I love old buildings. I don't think this building is old, but it's beautiful. So I would like to clean it up and keep it, hold it. My son Nicholas kind of took about 3 years ago, my business. Kind of, he's running it right now, but I'm still around, and I would like to save the building. I do own different buildings. I started really fast in '89. I came in '90. I bought few buildings in Ukrainian Village, and then went in Austin area with Emma Meets Alderman. I think she's still around. But Walmart, first Walmart in Chicago, of course, tore down half of the neighborhood. Had all kind of meetings. With the room was 800-900 people, 60 people in front of me, and I was only 21, 22. So I'm not really intimidated right now. I look like I'm, but I'm not. I would like to save that building. That's why I'm here. I want to get your yeses. I know people's going to throw rocks at me or dirt. It doesn't matter. I can answer any question. I'm the best that it is. I made it to top 10 Lords in Chicago out of 10,000. And I've been working in these 3 counties, Lake County, McHenry, and what is that other one? Cook County. So yes, I do have different buildings. I do have A buildings, B buildings, C buildings. I do have retail. I do have industrial. I have vacant land. I have projects that would come maybe 10, 20 years from now. But I like these little buildings like this. And if somebody wants to compare anything, compare the last 5, 6, 7, 10 years, the old buildings that I took and remodeled, because that's what I'm planning to do here. Don't go and look at my 100-unit complex and compare to that. Those were not built by me. They don't have the amenities. They are for different type of a tenant. But we do take care of everything we own. And the way to do it, it's to go back, check with police departments, with mayors, with city planners, and see how we take care of everything we own everywhere for the past 30 years. So there is like I said, I'm not coming, I haven't done 50 properties. I've done about 70, but in 30 years, not in, and yeah, I built some mid-rise building and some commercial buildings. For a while, I was running into Winn-Dixie's and grocery stores. Now I came back to apartments. But this school is something that I really love. I would like to fix it. I would like to turn it into 20, 25 units, small units, 500 square foot unit, top-end finishes, outside to be the way it was built, redo the roof, put some color on it. I think the roof stands out. The bell should look really nice. Windows, I think, can stay the way they are. All those units, AC units, need to be stripped out. I would like to put some kind of like in that building, some of these PTACs or maybe split units, get that boiler out of there and just make a nice 20, 25 units. There's plenty parking. There's actually extra land there. And I met with Mr. Smith, and he has so beautiful concept for Riverwalk. And I would like to, I live on the river, on the Fox River, just down the street. My house is 4 hours north of Broken Oar. Those of you that do some boating, throw an anchor, stand by, say hello. And I would like to, come here, take the boat and come here and see what's going on. So that's what I'm looking for. And I want to see your input and, any comments. I'm ready to answer any question. Thank you for this time.
Thank you, George. So George did get us just 3 mayors to send in recommendation letters from Carrie, Huntley, and Crystal Lake. So I appreciate that. That is in front of you. George, can you explain? I mean, I know you explained the Riverwalk a little bit, and we've had conversations about that parcel that's near the Riverwalk. George is willing to work with the city to grant us that piece of land to work with the Riverwalk and the Riverwalk Foundation to develop that portion and then tie it into that development as well. So I just wanted to clarify that. I don't know, Ross, am I missing anything that we had conversations about?
No,
I mean, they're not. He wants to keep the integrity of the building, the look of the building.
right. So the exterior will remain the same. There'll be some minor tuck pointing and stuff that needs to be done. Really what we're looking for tonight is if the council is okay with the use, just like the last property that we went to. 25 to 30 apartments, roughly 500 to 600 square feet apiece, high-end appliances.
Yeah, 25 would be max. There is no way to
Right,
put more than
right.
25. Probably less if I cannot fit them right, but 25 would be max or less. And there is 2 parkings for each unit.
And 2 parking spaces for each unit. So, I mean, it's very similar to the last one we had. It's just a more high-profile piece of property, right? So that's it.
So I just wanted to clarify, just for the sake of everyone listening, this is a conceptual presentation. The school district is currently out asking for bids for this property. And so True North is thinking of potentially putting in a bid this week. And so he just wanted to come in and get a sense from the council on whether or not this use would be allowed, potentially. But again, we have no idea at this point what the outcome of that bid process is going to be. And that is School District 15 that's running that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll go do the same thing. Council, have any questions, comments? Alderman Glenn?
My comments is, ever since April 9th of last year, when they first talked about divesting, District 15 divesting from Landmark and closing up the school, I've always looked at it as the fact that whatever it became would be the use for the public and open to the public. It is one of McHenry's oldest icons in the city, and I think to some extent we did preserve it because of it. Now, that was just the outside. I think the use, though, needs to be preserved as well, as far as the fact that it should eventually become something that the public can take and find use for on this property. And where I stand with apartments, and I wouldn't be in favor of apartments, but this parcel is, like Ross said, a very high visual, different type of property than the bank is. And I'll be honest with you, I think you'd find a lot of residents in this city that would be quite upset to find this icon taken and used as just an apartment complex.
Thank you. Alderman Benny?
This is a privately owned piece of property, and regardless of the status that it has, I do think that it would be very difficult. There may be a proposal that somebody finds use that the community can use, but generally buildings like this need to generate revenue. So again, we know that we need apartments. in McHenry in general, even in downtown McHenry, because our apartments that are located in downtown are full at this time. I think this is a great use for the property. There's plenty of parking. I think downtown living is becoming, especially with the Riverwalk, becoming more and more desirable. And if you're willing to work with the city to preserve that area along the Riverwalk, because I would love to see that expanded at some point, that would be really meaningful. And I have a lot of respect for these mayors that have submitted this. So I really appreciate you sending that. That means a lot too. So I would be in favor of continuing conversations if in fact your bid would be accepted.
Thank you so much.
Alderman Doherty?
Thank you for your presentation. I as well, the structure is very historic and love to see it kept as the structure. That being said, our opinions tonight could be many. We could have several people come before us, and I think there's multiple uses that could be proposed for this building. I would certainly like you to proceed forward if you have an interest in it, because what you propose, I certainly could endorse. I also could endorse other proposals. That's not my role tonight. My role is to give you feedback. If District 15 sold it to you or you were the landowner, I would certainly go ahead with your proposal. If somebody else came forward, I certainly would entertain that as well.
Thank you so
I'm
much,
not
sir.
saying one's better over the other. It's a financial decision for somebody. It's going to be costly for somebody to renovate this building. It's costly for the gentleman prior to you to renovate that building. I appreciate the effort of you wanting to invest in our community, and I think that's what this is about. You want to keep the integrity of that building. You like the structure, and that's what the Landmark Commission has wanted us to do. The inside, it's open. But thank you very much for your consideration, and please go forward.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Alderman Bassing?
I just, I always have to take notes.
No, you're fine.
Thank you. I actually did a couple of looked at online for reviews for your properties. And I was a little concerned with some of them. So I actually did a site visit last week. And based on what I saw, I don't really think that the apartments is a good fit for the Landmark building. We did receive an email today from a resident that also wanted to purchase it and convert it into a free community center, which I think is an absolutely perfect use for the building, and that is what I would support. Thank you.
I'm with you. If they're going to do community building, I'm going to cheer them up and maybe help them.
Alderman
Hopefully
Davis.
it's in my lifetime.
Alderman Davis, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of controversy around this property and what we do with it. So, or what gets done with it, I should say. I would like to see more to really make a true decision, whether I think it's the right thing for it or not. But so I would say it's worth taking the next steps to see what that is.
So this time it's kind of no.
Huh?
At this time it's kind of no.
No, he's willing for you to go to the next step.
I would like to see the next step and have this progress, but I want to see, a little bit more next time, just to see what those maybe.
Presentation wise and what you're going to do.
Well, yes, the reason I was questioning, just like I put right there,
Yeah.
it's up to this council to decide. There is 3 schools in front of you. 2 of them are standing and they're going to stand for the next 100 years. And the one that has question mark is Landmark.
Yeah.
And yes, community center, we'll see. I know that the school in the middle stayed empty for 20 years. The school to the, I don't know what it's your right, the one in McHenry stayed empty for 7 years. There was all kind of problems. Police used to go there. So I know the trends. So these 2 schools are done. They are only a few miles away. I know you went to some properties because I do have cameras and I do have good. You went to the wrong properties. I mean, if you go to this, if you compare apple to apple, it's fine. If you're looking on the reviews, I'll tell you I'm the best. Look on every single complex and you'll see. You went 10 years back and you found 8 or 9 reviews that are negative. I purposely left them there, and I have an answer for every single one. Yes, we throw people out of there. We do We do screen everybody. We do sometimes rent, and 6 months later, we don't renew them. We tell them to go. And yes, that's how we operate, and that's what it makes good landlord. And I even believe some people actually knows how to run it better than me, but they never ran a building a day in their life, and that's another thing. But thank you, sir. And the reason I'm asking this, because I don't want this building if I don't do what I can do with that. I don't want to end up seeing it empty for 6-7 years. It's like seeing my child not coming home for 6-7 years. That's not what I want. I want to go there, put the plans, go through with building department, through reviews. And yes, I want to work on it and invest the money and do it, and hopefully see that Riverwalk develop. But I do not want to end up with the old building that it's a big financial burden to hold that building. No way, not for a day. I want to keep it if I don't have UDSs.
Thank you, George. Alderman Cook?
I always wanted what's best for the city of McHenry. Landmark School means a lot to me. I went there and all that. Ideas are good. Community is good too. I'm for whatever we could make it to the best advantage of the city of McHenry. You know, making an icon and everything else. It sounds like you can do that. So I wish I knew a little bit more. Wish I could see into the future, but I can kind of see it. Okay, so it's a yes, maybe. Okay.
Thank you,
Is that
sir.
all right with you?
That's right, me.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? I see your, go ahead, Alderman Glad.
Yeah, to clarify, this isn't privately owned. You own it, I own it. Everybody that's in District 15 owns this property right now. This is public property that we're talking about. The gentleman's here today because he had put in a bid last time and it was rejected by District 15 because it was on a condition, and they're not taking conditional bids. So he's looking to find out where the city stands before he moves forward to purchase it, so that he's looking for a guarantee that he's going to get the zoning he wants if he purchases the property. So just want to clarify all that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Go ahead.
I just want to say also, as just so everyone is aware, this is a conceptual conversation. The feedback that you get from the council is just that. It's feedback. It is by no means a guarantee that there will be a zoning change approved in the future. There's a significant process that you would have to go through. I know you're aware, but just so everyone else is aware, that involves going through the Planning and Zoning Commission as well as a final approval by the City Council before any zoning change would move forward. So,
yes,
so everyone knows. Thanks.
Also, Landmark also has
Yeah.
to approve a certificate of appropriateness.
For any exterior changes to the building.
Right.
So as of right now, there is 5 to go ahead and move forward, 2 no's. Again, Alderwoman Miller had sent an email as well in support of this. And the council has that in front of them as well. So at this point, you do have 5 yeses. Of course, they want to see more. So, you know, depending on how the bid process goes, for anyone that's bidding on it, we want to work with those people to make sure that that business to make sure that we get the best that we can in this property. You know, we all want the best for this this property, and I know it's all about community development and, you know, making sure that we're watching the properties and making sure they're keeping up on the properties and Ross and his team. So, you know, other communities, you know, if it's not being maintained properly, that's up to the other communities to make sure that they're doing that. But for us, I think it's important that Ross and his people do that, no matter what goes in the Landmark. So, but yeah, so we look forward to seeing who purchases the property. Good luck to you on your bid. But at this time, you do have 5 to move forward, 2 no's.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you, everybody. It was nice meeting everybody, seeing everybody, and hear from you guys. Thank you so much. One thing I want to mention, I've done few schools. Every time with the school or church, there is somebody got married there, somebody went to school, somebody owns it, like Alderman said. When we did Crystal Lake, we had 200 people in the room a few times. We barely got it through majority vote. To whatever. I'm confused right now. So zoning wouldn't approve, so we went to the council. And everybody was concerned, like, I went to school there. So one of the things was leave the doors there, leave the paint, leave the windows there, leave the sidewalks, leave the trees, leave the parking lot. So when I go there with my nephew, I can point to that window and say, see right there, that's where was my table. And the church, leave everything the way it is, so I can say I got married there or your grandma got married there. So that's why we left Crystal Lake almost untouched from outside. And yes, I would have liked to get some windows out. I would like to change some doors, but that was that was approved. That's how it was approved, to leave it alone. So people that are still alive, there was a gentleman, John, unfortunately, he passed away before I finished. He was on the council sitting. He said, I want to show my nephews and stuff. So that's the plan with this one too, to leave it alone. So when somebody drives by, he can say what it is. That he sit there, or he knows somebody that was there, went to school there. So that's one comment I would say. But thank you. I don't even know if I'm going to get it. Bidding is bidding. I mean, who knows how many people are bidding, and we haven't even submitted the bid, I think, or maybe we did. Nick is the guy that does that. So thank you so much, and have a good night.
Thank you, George. Appreciate it. John Smith, would you like to say anything? You're good?
I do have.
Okay, go on. You do.
This is just a fun story. I had the pleasure of giving Nick and his son and George a tour of that building. And George was like a little boy. He couldn't wait to get up in the steeple and he started ringing the bell like crazy. Right, George? And that bell is going to stay, he said, no matter what. He was in love with the bell. Just a little tidbit. I'm sorry.
Thanks, John. All right. Well, thank you, George. Appreciate the presentation. Next item on the agenda is conceptual presentation by Mildred Solar. This is regarding a 27-acre solar farm installation. You please state your name and addresses for public record.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Tori Lawler, address 10 North Livingston Street in Madison, Wisconsin.
Thank you.
And Forrest Hauk, same address, 10 North Livingston, Madison, Wisconsin, 53714.
Thank you. The floor is yours.
So thank you very much. So Forrest and I are here from One Energy Renewables. We drove down from our Madison, Wisconsin office today to chat about Mildred Solar, which is a potential community solar project here in the city of McHenry. So we just have about 10 slides today. We're hoping to take 10 minutes of your time to chat about this project. So we'll talk a little bit about who One Energy is and our experience. We have some projects here in McHenry County that we'll chat about, as well as giving an overview of Mildred Solar, where it is, what it entails, and how it can benefit the local community. We also had a chance to meet with Ross and Cody in the past, and we redesigned our solar project based on their feedback. So we'll talk about the iterations of the project in the past and also our steps looking forward. We are planning to apply for a concurrent rezone to A1 zoning and special use permit. So we really welcome any feedback you have about the project as it currently is, and we'd love to incorporate that in our future permit submission. Next slide. Thank you. Go ahead first.
Yeah, so as Tori said, we're part of a team of about 50 people out of Madison, Wisconsin. Our office has been there since 2018. Our company's been active since 2008, originally started out in Seattle, Washington. Since we've opened our office in the Midwest, we've done about 50 of these style of projects, mainly in Wisconsin, but we have 10 projects in Illinois, 4 of them in McHenry County, the closest one being Armstrong Solar, which is just about a 10-minute drive west of town at the corner of Raffle Road at that roundabout there. So I think just wanted to highlight, where do I point this thing?
There you go.
I'm sure some of you or all of you have been in contact with Community Solar before, but what we're proposing on this property is what's called the Illinois Shines Community Solar Project. So that would allow any ComEd customer to subscribe to the project, folks who don't own their home, or maybe their home is shaded, or live in an apartment and aren't able to put solar on their own roof, would be able to subscribe to this project. And folks who subscribe to community solar projects typically see a savings about 20% on their ComEd bill. And the project that we're proposing here tonight would power roughly about 1,000 homes. So 1 in 20 or 1 in 10 homes in McHenry.
All right, here's a little overview of Mildred Solar, located right here in the city of McHenry. I'll have a layout and a location map in a little bit. So this is just like some fast facts on what the project entails. We are located on 27 acres of land that's currently used for agricultural production in RS1 zoning. The project has a lifespan of 30 years. After 30 years, the project is taken up out of the ground and it could either be returned to agricultural production or it could be used for a different use, such as residential in the future. We're connecting to the ComEd utility grid. So there's existing utility poles right off of Curran Road that we hook our project up to, and it serves the local electrical load. So all the energy generated by this project stays right here in the community. Like Forrest was talking about, this project has generates 5 megawatts of energy, which is enough to power 1,000 average Illinois homes. So 10% of McHenry households could be powered by a project of this size. Looking forward, we are here tonight to just get some feedback, but we are interested in applying for a rezone to A1 zoning and a special use permit concurrently. And this project would have an estimated online date of winter of next year. So this is where Mildred Solar is located. So the blue lines are the parcel boundaries that the project is on. And then the red area with the yellow number 2 is where the actual project is located. So that's where all the panels and equipment will be. We are just to the east of the Wood Creek subdivision and just north of the Legend Lake townhomes. We also are south of Route 120 and right off of Curran Road. So when we initially came to Ross and Cody with this project area, we were siting the project at the area labeled number 1 on that location map. So north of where our current project area is located, they had some really great concerns about the visibility of the project to the nearby neighbors. So Forrest and I got out to the site and looked around, and we found that the area labeled number 2 was a lot better suited for this community for a solar project. We really liked that it has a really strong vegetative screen on 3 sides. So on the north, east, and south, there's some really dense vegetation that will help limit the visibility of the project. We're also further committing to establishing more vegetative screening right off of Curran Road. So we'll plant some trees there to further limit the visibility of the project to anyone passing by off of Curran Road. All right, so this is our site plan for the project. I know it's kind of technical and the font's kind of small, so I'll just do a couple quick call outs of what the project looks like. So if you see that blue ribbon all around the edge of the project, that is a FEMA floodplain. We are completely avoiding any development in that floodplain. And then if you can see the vertical lines through the project, that is our solar panels. We also have the green box all the way to the left. That's right off of Curran Road. That is that vegetative screen that I was talking about. So that's where we'll plant some trees so anyone passing by off of Curran Road can have more limited visibility to the project. We're again located on 27 acres fenced in, and we like to plant the inside of our projects with native pollinator prairie. So it's really great for the soil health, great for the ecosystem. Our panels are single axis tracking, so they are facing north to south, but they rotate east to west throughout the day to capture more energy from the sun. We also are tentatively including the McHenry County setbacks for solar projects. So that's 50 feet from all the parcel boundaries, and we're also 150 feet from any residences as well. And then here are some aerial renderings of what this parcel would look like with a solar project on it. So on the left, that is what the parcel currently looks like. Just a quick call out here, you can see the vegetative screen to the northeast and south. So that'll really limit the visibility of the project already. And then on the right, you can see 2 images of what a solar project would look like in this area. So if you see on the bottom, right along Curran Road, there's some trees there. That's what the trees will look like when they're planted originally. And then over the 30-year life cycle of the project, those will grow and help better screen the project from anyone passing by off of Curran Road. So for property taxes in the state of Illinois, all solar farms have a standard tax assessment that is used. So that is set at $7,000 per megawatt per year. So over the 30-year life cycle of the project, that's generating $35,000 in tax revenue every year. So at the end of its 30-year life, Mildred Solar would have contributed over $1 million in tax revenue. If the project were to stay in its agricultural use, it would be about $60,000 to $70,000. So we're looking at more than 11 times the tax revenue that is currently generated by the parcel. About half of that will go to the local elementary and middle schools, District 15, and another quarter will go to the high schools, District 156, and then the rest will be split between the city, the library, the county, the township, et cetera. And then at the end of that 30-year life cycle, the project can just be taken up out of the ground and either return to agricultural use or it can become a residential use. So overall, Mildred Solar has the opportunity to contribute over $750,000 in tax revenue to local McHenry schools. There is an opportunity for energy savings for subscribers to the project. We're also willing to discuss priority subscriptions to the residents of the city of McHenry. So they would have the first opportunity to subscribe to this local project and save up to 20% on their utility bills. There's also an opportunity for job creation and local spending during the construction period of the project. And this project would serve as a local source of energy that is clean and reliable and stays right here in the community. So that's our little overview, but we are super open to any feedback you have about this project, and we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Thank you. We'll do the same thing. If we can go ahead and ask any questions, comments that you may have about the project. Alderman Manning, go ahead.
When I first read this, I actually was not really sure what I thought about that. I actually used to live in one of those townhomes that directly was next to that buffer area. And I wasn't sure how I'd feel about it. So I immediately called some neighbors and the board of directors for that association. And I guess I was slightly surprised, but they're really in favor of it. They like the low profile, the fact that there's still going to be that, native pollination area, and there's a lot of wildlife in that space as well, which I think could actually reside in this space without really being disturbed. I would have to say, based on all the feedback I got from the residents there, I know that this is designated in our 2050 plan as residential, which the residents aren't actually thrilled about in that particular location. But being this 30-year thing, that still gives the city an opportunity to look at our, into the future for expanding. So I think at this time, I would be in favor of having something like this. Obviously, having clean energy is something that I certainly, am passionate about. So I think that this might be a good thing for the city, and that's definitely a good location. There are definitely a lot of buffer areas, and it would be very well hidden from just about everybody. I even talked to someone who has, an upper deck that can overlook that, who doesn't even think she would be able to see it. So I think that moving that from that one location closer to that area was probably a really good move and leaves space for other development and things to do in the future.
Thank you so much, Alderwoman.
Alderman Glenn.
Yeah. One of my reservations is the fact that you build this over there, and again, the residents just south of here, they're probably in favor of it because they don't want to see development. They like that openness that they've had since that subdivision has been built. However, you put in something like this for the next 30 years and all that property around it, you're going to find it very difficult for anybody to want to take and bite to build out there next to something like this. Nobody has ever brought up a question as far as what the soils out there are like. Are we worried about development north of there and find out that most of that's peat anyway and silt that is undevelopable? When they built this townhome area, they had to realign the roadway because of the amount of peat they would have had to move. I think, if I recall, it was about 16 feet of peat they would have had to dig out in order to build the road the way the project had originally been spelled out. So there is a lot of very fine silt and a lot of soil conditions there that may or may not be suitable for development. And I think before we make a decision like this, that's something that we should know. And again, like I say, I don't want to see a project like this deter development out there because of it. We do need new single-family development, and I just don't want to see it, 30 years ago, we had a lot of different areas that we could expand on, and over the years, other municipalities have cut us off as far as expansion of availability as far as open lands. And we need to be very careful to protect the open lands we have, whether we want to keep them open, open lands or see development on them. And I think that's something that we need to weigh on all these type of projects. So thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Doherty?
Definitely in support. I was on the county board when you did the Charles Road. I was a supporter of that. Anything we can do for the renewable energy, all for the better for the community. I did drive out there just to take a look at the property. It's a great use of that piece of land. There's some great natural, buffering around there. So good use. Thank you. Thank you.
Alderman Bassi?
Suzanne, could you please go to page 60?
Oh,
Monty, could you please go to page 60? Thank you. I also called a number of the people on the board for both HOAs, and I actually knocked on everybody's door that butted up against it. So I feel pretty confident in what I'm saying. I'm actually delivering their message. This is also my ward. But before I tell you what that answer is, real quickly, I have a few questions. How long start to finish will this project take?
For the construction period, typically a project of this size takes usually 6 months. So
Okay.
Our proposed timeline would be following this. We'd submit a rezone and special use permit application in the coming weeks, hopefully next month. To get that hopefully approved, we'd then do our preliminary, we do a soil survey after harvest, do a geotechnical survey to know what foundations we can do. We do think that this, just kind of going back to the comment over here, we do think the soils here would be a good fit for our foundations. What we do is we pile drive steel piles, approximately 6 to 8 feet into the ground for a 5 to 6 foot exposure. I'm about 6 feet tall, so then the panels would be sitting T-shaped at 6 feet tall. And as Tori said, would tilt over the course of the day. And we do think that the soil here would be a good fit for that foundation design. So going back to your question, the 6 months would start next spring would be our proposal, pending building permits and all of that. It's usually starting after spring thaw so we can drive those piles, and then wrapping up by October or so.
Okay. Will you use anti-reflecting coating on the panels?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Okay, if you could direct your attention to page 60, which Monty Scott pulled up. If I am looking at this correctly, you have got the reflectors and the inverters on your lower south, which is north of the residence.
That's correct. Yep.
Will you move the inverters and the transformers farther north? Main concern is any kind of potential buzzing noise.
Sure.
I think if you move it up north, you're going to have less of a buzz noise for the residents.
No,
So is that something you would be willing to do?
Absolutely. I think that's a great suggestion. We typically start with the road where there's a current access drive, and that's where the current access drive is in that southwest corner of the parcel. So that's kind of the origin of that road location.
Mhm.
And we typically, the inverters that you're speaking to,
Right.
They're about the size of a microwave, and they have a fan to cool them,
Mhm.
which is the humming noise that you're talking
Right.
about. And so typically that sound it's kind of it's the sound of like a dishwasher running. And so typically what we do in our layouts is we don't place that within like 150 feet of a home, like Tori was saying. But I think it's a good idea, and I think we'd be definitely open to shifting that road location, flipping it to the north side of the
Perfect.
parcel,
Mhm.
so that where the inverters, and I think that's a good suggestion.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Your site calls for native pollinator prairie. Will you work with environmental groups?
Absolutely. No, we typically work with our contractor that we worked in the past as Natural Resource Services. We like them because they can offer us 30 different species that don't grow over 36 inches tall.
Mhm.
And that's sort of our height template, because any further you'd start shading the lower edge of the solar panel when it's tilted in the evening. But we're definitely open to any suggestions of what folks would like to see out there. One of our sites we did almost exclusively with black-eyed Susans because the neighbor really liked them. And that first photo in our deck was actually that project when it bloomed. It was all yellow. So definitely open to suggestions on.
Okay, last question is, will you commit to working with the neighbors at Legend Lakes to ensure that there's naturally wooded sound barrier and a visual barrier for them?
Yeah, I think so. We're really happy with what the buffer looks like currently, but we'd be happy to plant additional trees in that space to fill in any locations on the southern boundary.
Okay, as I had stated previously, I've spoken to a number of the people that are homeowners in Legend Lakes and the HOA members. I personally would not want a solar farm in my backyard, but I would not vote either way without speaking to the residents. And based on what they have told me, they would prefer to have a solar farm in their backyard, assuming that you will make the changes that we talked about, rather than having residential area behind them. They are concerned about the developers that have been going through the city. And ideally, though, they would like it to stay, the property to stay open in a green space, which is not going to happen. But short answer is, if you're willing to work with the neighbors and make those changes we talked about and have the barrier, you have my full support.
Thank you.
And actually, I am representing their support to this project.
Thank you. And if you have their contact information, I'd love to follow up with them just so we can make sure we understand and make sure we're putting that tree buffer in the right spot. So
I have a whole list of people. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Alderman Davis.
Yeah, no, I'm in support of this. I just had a question. I know you mentioned that there could be a priority for the McHenry. How does that work? Is it somebody you apply to it? Are there certain criterias? If you have solar on your house, can you still be part of the program? How does all that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll take the first piece, the exclusivity period. So when the project gets energized, what we typically would offer is a 30 to 60 day exclusive window where folks from a certain zip code or a jurisdiction would be the only ones that would be available to subscribe to the project. Like we said, this project would power about 1 in 10 homes in the city. So there's a chance that the city could just take up the whole. These two things do fill up quite fast because of the potential savings on the credit. So that's part one. Part two of the who can subscribe, it's any ComEd customer. If you're served by ComEd and you get a utility bill from the utility every month, the way these projects work, it's kind of like an accounting service where you sign up based on how much energy you use. And then when you get that bill every month, you get to see how much energy your subscription has made. And then that comes in as a bill credit on your ComEd bill. So
how do you how would somebody sign up for this?
This would be through the Illinois Shines website. And so what we would do is offer that 30 to 60 day exclusive window before making it going live on the public website.
So that would just go out to, you send out mailers, or
Yep.
there would be some announcement somehow.
Yeah, we typically do like a physical mailer, and then if you have any suggestions of where we could post this publicly for folks who live in the area, they would just have to provide an address to confirm, their living address and their ComEd customer. But that's typically how we do it.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Alderman Cook.
What's the total cost of this project?
To build it?
Yeah.
Roughly $10 million.
Okay, how much is it subsidized by the federal government?
Well, after the recent reconciliation bill, not much.
Well, what I'm asking is because the state of Illinois wants to pick up where the feds left off, which increases our taxes. And you're talking about $1 million over 30 years that goes back into the community, when we could have had a gravel pit with 2 million in 20 years. To me, the exchange is not money wise.
Sure.
Okay, me personally.
Yeah.
I do not like solar. It's only good for charging your phone, or, you know, need your refrigerator, you know, you have a small generator and all that, big project like that, per kilowatt, it's like 28 cents. When you have coal, nuclear and all that, it's like 14. So it's doubles the size of it. You're taking a farmland. I'm totally against it.
No, thank you for.
I mean, we just, you know, it's a money thing to me, does not work out. And as long as you're giving 20% off or off an electric bill and all that, ComEd keeps raising them up anyhow. So are you really making out? So as far as I'm concerned, how they build the solar panels, where they get the trace minerals from, does more damage to the economy or ecology. Sorry. And I don't think it's worth it. So I'm a no.
Yep, thank you for raising those points. We'll try to include some information about the cost of energy that we can provide through this project, but thank you for raising that. We're definitely in the business of keeping energy costs down. So, but we'll try to detail that in our application.
All right. Ross, do you have anything to add?
No, I don't think so. I think that you guys got what you're looking for as far as the feedback.
Yeah, thank you.
It sounds like majority of the council is
4
is
and
in-
2, and then Alderwoman Miller did not give feedback on that. So you might want to reach out to her, which Ross can give you her contact. Or
Right.
I can. And
then
we can
you
reach
guys-
out to her, just see where she stands.
That'd be great.
All right.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Great. Thanks.
Thank
Have a
you,
good
guys.
evening.
Thank you.
Is there anyone from the public that'd like to make a public comment regarding this item? No one signed up for public comment regarding this item. Ladies and gentlemen, any public comment? Okay, moving on. 6D is the 2026 pavement management study and 2026 paving plan. Go ahead.
Thank you,
Russ,
Mayor.
the floor is yours.
I'd like to start with just a history of the pavement management report and the road program since 2019. In 2019, we commissioned our first pavement management report. If you look at page 83 in tonight's packet, there's a map. And if you look at the orange and the red, those are the roads in our town as of 2019 that were rated as in poor condition. That's a PCI score of 40 or less. We have 128 approximately centerline miles of roadway that we're responsible for maintaining, and this has become a very valuable tool in prioritizing which areas of town need attention and in what order. In 2019, our average PCI rating in town was 49.5. Roughly 50% of our roads were rated in that 40 or less poor condition. Fast forward to 2024 and our most recent pavement management report, which is represented on page 84 in the packet. Our average rating is now up to 68.6. Only 25% of our roads still fall into that 40 or less poor PCI rating. So with using that, we try to develop our annual resurfacing program. And the idea is based on a 25-year pavement life cycle, we're looking to pave approximately 5 miles of roadway each year. We currently have a budget of $2 million per year to accomplish that. And we use the rankings based on this pavement management report to develop those programs. What we're asking for council to consider tonight, we've included the current pavement management data from 2024 that begins on page 77 in the packet. We've detailed a preliminary 5-year plan. It's kind of color coded by year, gives you an idea of approximate cost and approximate mileage that we would be paving in each of those years. And specifically for tonight, what we're looking for is some guidance for our year 2026. Part of the annual resurfacing program is getting out and doing our due diligence ahead of time. We do pavement cores to evaluate the condition of of the road and the subgrade that's out there. We do ADA and necessary curb repairs a year ahead of paving. So what we really need from council is just some feedback. This is a preliminary list of roads. A formal road program would come before you for approval early next year. But this is just kind of the go-ahead to start investigating these roads, developing the scope of the 2026 road program. If you have any questions, I'm here. I also have Greg Gruen, our senior project engineer who administers the road program, who knows way more about this than I do. So he can answer questions too. Thank you.
Thank you, Russ. Appreciate it. Any questions, comments by council? Alderman Glenn?
Yeah, the first thing that struck me was Dartmoor. The fact that why would we be doing a road that is right off the 31, considering within the next 2 years, we're going to start seeing construction on 31 as far as widening. It's a street that services bus board and nobody else. You see cars parked out there all the time. If you go out there, you see a lot of stains of oil stains and everything else on that road. And it just doesn't look that bad compared to some of the other roads I've seen. And again, it doesn't serve but one entity, and that's it. And that kind of concerns me. I know it's not a lot of money, but it's the fact that you've got somebody else that's sitting out there looking to get their street done, and it's pushed back. And like I say, is it smart to take and do this street before the widening of 31? And that's another one of my concerns. So, other than that, I can see where it's going. Unfortunately, it's bumped a couple other streets off from this survey compared to what we had expected for 2026. And any way you look at it, I still think we need more than $2 million a year for road program. So I'll leave it at that.
All right. Any other questions, comments? Alderman Bessie?
Thank you for putting this together. Russ, quick question. I go on Oakwood Drive a lot. As you know, with Cycling Without Age, that is part of the path that we go when we give our seniors rides. It is really in bad condition. And I know it's extremely expensive. It's just shy of $500,000. Is there any way we can move that up and rearrange this list? It would be, I mean, have you physically seen that road lately? Because it's bad.
Yes, I've been out there. There's a couple points I would make. First of all, if we're going, the list that we get, the pavement management report, is an objective analysis of pavement condition.
Mm-hmm.
There are various factors, when you're looking at the road condition. Some of them are aesthetics, and maybe it's minor surface imperfections that the road's a little bumpier or it is visually less appealing. But then there's other factors that are indicative of more structural issues with the roadway and the subgrade that can impact the PCI score, that may not necessarily be as obvious to the naked eye or obvious when you're just driving down the road. So I think we rely on these consultants. We hire them because this is what they specialize in, and we ask them to give us a numerical value that we can use to assess our road condition and use as sort of an objective measure of where we need to focus.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it would be a mistake to start flipping around the roads, the order in which we're doing them, not based off of sort of the data-driven track that we've taken, and making sort of a more emotional or gut-based decision.
Well, and I appreciate that, but it's got a score of 34, correct?
It does.
Okay, you've already got 4 that are 34. Is there any way to move those 34 down and put Oakwood Drive up there? It doesn't come out to the exact dollar amount.
No.
And I'm thinking that might be an issue, but if you move around a few, I think you could actually find $500,000 bumping the bottom that are 34s.
here's the reality. We can craft this however council directs us to. I can make a $3 million road program in 2026 and do a $1 million road program in 2027. The net result, we only have so much funding available. We only bring in about 1.1 million a year in MFT. We bring in about $360,000 a year in local MFT. And then we use some other funding sources like the Township Road and Bridge and some other streets contractual funding sources. So the average annual amount that we have available is 2 million. We do have a little bit of reserves that we keep as a cushion for when we work on these projects for contingencies. But again, at some point, we can only jump so far ahead before we're going to have to start scaling back the size of our road program. And that's going to impact the future years. And at the end of 5 years, I don't think you're going to be any further down this list than approximately where we have it cut off now. And the one thing I do want to highlight is based on these preliminary years, at the end of 5 years, we are up to 44. So in 5 years, we will have crossed off all of our roads on this list that are currently ranked in poor condition.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to voice my opinion.
Yeah, I
Thank
think, I'll just give a little bit of feedback. In my opinion, we've had these conversations, Alderman Glab, I believe. I think we pay a lot of money to have these studies done. We pay professionals to do it. And I think if we start taking roads from another year, you're going to be starting to get calls, as I do every single year. My road is garbage. We need, can you move our road up? Can you move our road up? And then it's a disaster for us to try to figure out, it's almost a friend thing, and I don't think any of us want to be in a situation like that. I think we follow the process. I think we follow the order that the professionals gave us, and that's just my opinion. And as far as Dartmoor Drive, I do see your point. It's just the one road. But I was just actually on that road today. And I'm like, man, this road is not the best. But it's also a visual thing. You're on Route 31. You get how many people driving down Route 31 and see that road, and it's starting to deteriorate towards the stop sign area going on to 31. So that's just my opinion. It's a visual thing too. From how many people drive down 31, I don't even know, but a lot. So, but that's just my opinion. So, Alderman Glenn.
Yeah, again, I just don't think enough insight is put into the use of these streets, of which ones are used the most. Number one, Oakwood is used very highly. Royal, just off by the post office, is just totally deteriorating because of the amount of school buses every single day that go through there. You've got semis that go in and out of the post office. And that area there up to Oakwood, that small strip, is just totally crumbling. And it really needs to be looked at. Now, unfortunately, when they're looking at it, they're looking at the entire Royal. We're not looking at certain sections that are really, really bad. And we don't want to wind up like what they did in Kensington years back. They took and put a patch on it. And then, unfortunately, it made the ranking of it a little higher to where it was pushed back about 4 or 5 years because of it. We want it done right. But areas like that should be looked at rather than aesthetic looks. The use of these roads there's not enough emphasis put in on how these roads are being used and how much traffic they carry and how much impact they are to the community before we just go by the statistics of what the professionals are telling us as far as what the conditions of the roads are. And I think to some extent that's where we fail because we're not looking at the individual use of every road.
Thank you. Go ahead, Russ.
If I can, I just want to stress that prior to 2019, the city was way behind on road maintenance. The PCI, the pavement management report, and the PCI scores, I'm not saying that it's a perfect system. There's always going to be certain areas where things could have been prioritized differently based on a number of different factors. But I think overall, if you look at the positive gains that we've made, where we think we're going to be in another 5 years, The goal is to get to a point where we don't have these roads that are in such poor condition that we're trying to figure out which ones we're going to put off the longest, and really get to a point where it truly is a maintenance program, and that the overall road condition remains higher. That's the goal. We're still playing catch up from years of, neglect and lack of attention to this item.
Agreed. And we've done this without doing bonds like other municipalities have been doing, which is something that I would never support anyway. But yeah, so Alderman Glenn, go ahead.
Yeah, this isn't a new concept that just started. I mean, when they first brought this to council and we were talking about this, I brought up the fact that we needed to bring it back to council and we needed to talk about this program as far as are we looking at the use of the roads when we're looking at the statistics? And I think we've totally neglected the use of the roads. And I think it was important that we look at where these, how much traffic is on some of these roads that never get touched for several years before others are done. And, it could be because of the condition of the road, but why is the road in the condition it is? In some cases, they're not used that much. You realize that a road, if it's not used much, will deteriorate a lot faster than some of the roads that actually get traffic on them because they're like a sponge. And they bring the oils up to the surface. Without bringing that oil up to the surface, they crumble a lot, the top surface. So, I mean, there's a lot of different factors that we're not looking at. And I just think to some extent, I don't know. I mean, when we used to have a public works committee, we used to look at all this stuff and we used to analyze it a lot more than just what an outsider is telling us what our pavement statistics are. And that's all I've got to say.
Alderman Davis.
Yeah, at first I had kind of similar questions about, how they were selected. I know there's a ranking and everything. And there is some overlap between years, but then, look a little farther, you guys are trying to keep that cost and that mileage around the same. So you have to go with the professionals and what they say, right? To their point, I think there could be, if you could find something with it, that's more desirable roads that people have high feelings about that we need to work on first. If there's a possibility where it's a similar amount cost-wise, mileage-wise, and the rating is similar, if there's a way that we could swap some out, then, just help that out a little more. Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can't. I don't know if that's an option, but it looks like that's how this was created. Am I correct on that? Just by looking at it?
Yes.
Okay. So there could be a possibility to do this road over that road. Possibly, right?
Are we talking about roads that are ranked evenly?
Yeah. The ranking is going to be similar. Obviously the length of it, the cost of it. So it stays within that 2 million, 5 miles. If there isn't, then it doesn't work, right? But
Correct.
if there is, then, and there's something that's a higher priority than others, maybe we make those provisions and swap those around. But, again, I think that's something that should be voted on, not just keep it the way it is right now. And if someone has a desire to have, I want this road or I want this in my ward to be done and this and that, then we collectively say, okay, yeah, go ahead and swap that. We can make that work. It makes sense. Not just, hey, I want this done, so we do it because one person says it. So that's all I have to say.
Alderman Cook. Got any input?
I want my stuff done and I don't care. No, it just, I talked to Russ before and, it just seems like it's a shotgun pattern here. I understand where McHenry Shores, that's been needed for a while. I kind of like the idea, hey, drive over there, see how bad it is. if it can be swapped out, maybe next year do Maple, something like that. But I know it's a lot of time involved. I like the professionals when you pay them to grade the roads. Yes, there are all certain circumstances where it gets heavily used more that wasn't taken in consideration, I guess, or not known about. So I don't know. I kind of want to go with the professionals, but there is a couple of roads that I guess can wait another year and swap them out with something that's really, I don't know, the average is pretty good. I mean, stepping right along, step at a time. I guess we'll all have differences on what roads to be done.
Exactly. Alderwoman Bainey?
I just want to say that I'm not interested in voting on every single road that comes before us. I don't think that any of us sitting here on council are really qualified to determine which road is worse than the next. I think we'd all be interested in what's in our ward and what our neighbors would like to see fixed first. I agree with Mayor Jett that this is something left to the professionals. Clearly, they've got a method for determining which roads need to be done. I think Alderman Glad made a great point about Dartmoor Drive, however, but in the scheme of things, I'm okay with seeing that move forward. So I would rely on the professionals and Russ's opinion of how we need to handle this and not try swapping things out and having city council go with absolutely no experience or expertise in this to determine which roads need to be done first. And I would want to just move forward with the plan.
Alderman Glad?
Yeah, well, I've looked at these roads for 28 years, for God's sakes. And I've seen reasons why some of them have deteriorated and why some haven't. But I also have a lot of questions here as far as, okay, this is done by the professionals. This is an outside firm. And that's one of the reasons that I didn't want to go to an outside firm completely, because of the fact that Oakwood Drive is a residential street in their minds because of the way it's laid out. But yet you take a look at Farmstead, and Farmstead's a collector street. Okay. Now, Farmstead might be from Draper to Draper, and maybe Oakwood only goes from Royal to Meadow. But I guarantee you that that Oakwood probably carries at least 2.5 times as much traffic as Farmstead. So, like I say, these class and ratings aren't always right because they're all done by somebody outside the city and not within the city that knows the areas, knows the type of traffic patterns, knows where the impacts are. And I think we need to, for the future, take a look at a little bit more of what the use of these roads are and who's using them. Because cars going over a road versus, like I say, the bus is exiting out of West constantly every single day. There's a lot more weight and a lot more impact on those roads than there are on a regular residential street. And those type of factors need to be looked at, and I don't care what kind of company you get from the outside to look at it. They don't, unless you're going to charge us a million times more money, they're not going to know and analyze the things that we know about our community. And I think we need to be a lot more involved. Otherwise, why are we here? Just to rubber stamp it?
Thank you. Alderman Davis?
Well, Andy, I agree with you. My assumption is that the way this is laid out, it's based off, again, cost, mileage, and ratings. And my assumption is that the staff has looked at the things you're asking about. They are local. Unfortunately, you can't do everything all at once, right? So I'll ask the question. Have you guys looked at this to understand and said, okay, we know the usage of these roads and you're trying to put together, this year, next year, and so on and so forth, right? Is my assumption. So I'll just ask the question.
Craig?
Yeah, to your point, basically the pavement management report, the consultant that we hired was strictly from edge of pavement to edge of pavement and just evaluated the number of cracks, the failures, the rutting, and he came up with a pavement condition index score. And that's the biggest challenges we've had is we can debate this for hours and everybody will come up with a different opinion as to what roads we are going to pave. The timeline is such that it works out better if we get this decided now, a year in advance, so that our crews can go ahead and do the ADA ramps. I can get the pavement cores ordered. I actually design it myself in-house. I got to get this approved from IDOT because we're using MFT funds. And kind of deciding that kind of at the last minute just hasn't worked out in the past. So to answer your question is that this is basically just strictly on the pavement condition. As far as the road classes and maybe major roads, roads like Green Street, Bull Valley Road, Bearable Road, we actually apply for grants for those. I mean, those are our major roads in town. And those we do out of order, basically because there's grant funding available. And those are they call them FAU routes, Federal Aid Urban. So not necessarily with this program, our local program, but on a bigger city scale, we do look at the major roads. We got another round of grants coming up and might consider Crystal Lake Avenue to be done maybe 2032, somewhere around there. So we do take that into account, not specifically with our local road program. It's just based on this pavement condition index. And that's what's worked for us the past 4 years. And that's just a way to develop a list and figure out what roads we're going to do in what year.
Right, but just by the way this is laid out, obviously you're not just doing everything off of number or rating, right? So there's some consideration. You have some 20s, some 30s, and so on and so forth. But to get them to that 2 million, 5 miles, there has to be some, oh, let's do these or those, right? So,
Yeah, so
that was really the question is.
Or did you just draw the line at
Yeah.
$2 million and go, okay, here's about $2 million. Here's
Right.
the line.
Yeah,
I think
$2 million bucks, and we got. So you might be confused. The pavement width is one column, and the PCI rating is the other. So we're doing like Maple Court is a 14, Ashland Drive is a 24 for our
Okay, yeah,
PCI,
okay.
and that goes all the way down to, and we get down to the 34s.
Okay.
And then when we run out of money, we
put the line there.
put the line there and pave you 5.09 miles of road.
Yep. Thank you. Because I was looking at the other one. I was looking at the wrong one. So,
So,
okay.
can I
So
just-
it is based off a number alone. Okay.
Yeah, can I just ask quickly? So we do have, as Alderwoman Bassey pointed out, some 34s scheduled for 2026, some scheduled for 2027. How did we determine what order those would be in, or is that just
So with
the way they came back?
Farmstead and Oakwood, those would put us kind of significantly over. So that was the reason that those got dropped down. Jennifer Lane, between those, I mean, that's the way the numbers worked out the best for us. But there really is, we're not going to decimal points with the roads. It's just, and to be honest, anything under really a 50 PCI is something that needs to be paved. I mean, ultimately, our plan is our goal would be to get to a program where we're fixing these roads before they get in the condition that they are in.
Okay. Any other questions, comments by council? Okay. Thank you, Greg.
Sounds
Thank you,
good.
Russ. Appreciate it. All right, we are now on the consent agenda. 7A through 7M. Is there any council members wanting to pull any items for separate consideration? Alderwoman Bassey?
It's just a correction to the minutes, which is J.
Can you want to go ahead and,
Do you want me just to say it now, what
Please.
needs to be done? Okay. Trish, on page 139, it was the vote for the Cold Springs Park landscape. You have six yays. There's 7 of us, and I voted no. If you could just add my vote, I would appreciate it. Okay,
thank you.
thank you. That was it.
All right, Alderman Cook?
7E. My question is that Why is there no bid for the crack paving, crack sealing, I'm sorry, and all that?
Sure. Russ?
That was bid.
Crack sealing maintenance program?
Do you want to just pull it? You just want to pull that
Yeah,
item?
okay, pull it.
All right, we'll just pull it. That way you can go ahead and do your research. Any other items being pulled by the council? All right, see now I'm looking for a motion to approve 7A through 7D and 7F through 7M with modifications to J that Alderwoman Bassey brought up. Waiting for a motion to approve. Alderwoman Bassey?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
for-
Second?
Okay, good enough.
Alderman Cook?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Discussion by city council on these items? Please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you, council. Item pulled, 7E by Alderman Cook, award to unit price contract to Patriot Pavement Maintenance of Wheeling, Illinois for the 2025 asphalt cracking sealing maintenance program in the amount of $84,707.28, plus an additional 10% contingency of $8,470.73. Floor is yours, Russ.
Thank you, Mayor. So this was included as a capital project for fiscal year 25-26. We had a $100,000 line item in the budget for performing this work. We did post it for bid. Bids were opened on June 26th. We received 2 bids for the job, one from Patriot Pavement Maintenance at a unit price of $1.68 per linear foot, and one from SKC Construction at a price of $1.71 per linear foot.
So you took the lowest bid?
Correct.
Okay. I was just wondering, because to me, it didn't say that it was put out to bid.
The bid tab is included on page 110 of the packet.
I must have missed that. Sorry, but.
Sorry.
You only read 1 to 109, huh? You got tired.
Tired from
I'm looking for a motion to approve 7E as presented. Alderman Doherty,
I'll make the motion to approve 7E as presented.
thank you. Second, Alderman Bainey,
I'll second.
thank you. Any questions, comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Thank you, council. Next item on the agenda is 8A, is a fiscal year 25-26 water main replacement project. I am looking for a motion to approve 8A as presented. Alderman Doherty,
Yeah, to make a motion to approve item 8A, the fiscal 25-26 water main replacement project as listed.
thank you. Second, Alderman Cook,
I'll second the motion.
thank you. Discussion by city council? See none. Open up for public comment regarding this item. I see none. Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Alderman Davis,
Yes.
Alderwoman Bassey,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
Yes.
Alderman Bainey,
Yes.
Thank you, council. Next item on the agenda is 8B, is a fiscal year 25-26 water main replacement project engineering. I am looking for a motion to approve 8B as listed below. Alderman Davis,
I'll make the motion for fiscal year 25-26 water main replacement project engineering, 8B.
thank you. Second, Alderman Doherty,
I'll second.
thank you. Discussion by city council. Any questions, comments? Open up for public comment. Any public comment regarding 8B? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Davis,
Yes.
Alderman Doherty,
Yes.
Alderwoman Bainey,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
Yes.
Alderwoman Bassey,
Yes.
Alderman Davis, or Alderman Cook, sorry,
Yes.
sorry.
Thank you, council. Next item on the agenda is 8C, is a Kensington Water's Edge Storm Sewer Lining. I'm looking for a motion to approve 8C as presented. Alderman Doherty,
I'd make a motion to approve item 8C, Kensington Water Edge Storm Sewer Lining as proposed.
thank you. Second, Alderman Bainey.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Questions, comments by city council? Any public comment regarding this item? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Doherty.
Yes.
Alderman Bainey.
Yes.
Alderman Glad.
Yes.
Alderman Massey.
Yes.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Cook.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Next item on the agenda is 8D, Oakwood Drive Bridge reconstruction. I'm looking for a motion to approve 8D as proposed.
I'll make a
Alderman Bainey.
motion to approve Oakwood Drive Bridge reconstruction as proposed.
Thank you. Second. This is it for 8D. Alderman Doherty.
I'll second.
Thank you. Discussion, any questions, comments by city council?
Are we awake down there?
Yeah, right. Any public comment regarding this item? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Bainey.
Yes.
Alderman Doherty.
Yes.
Alderman Glad.
Yes.
Alderman Massey.
Yes.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Cook.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Next item on the agenda is 8E, Water Treatment Plant Number 5 Design Engineering. I am looking for a motion to approve 8E as proposed. Alderman Doherty, would you like to make that motion?
Yes, please. Thank you. It's been a quiet night.
Second, Alderman Cook. Alderman Cook for a second. Thank you. Discussion by city council on this item? See none? Any public comment regarding this item? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Doherty.
Yes.
Alderman Cook.
Of course. Yes.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Massey.
Yes.
Alderman Glad.
Yes.
Alderman Bainey.
Yes.
Thank you, council. The next item on the agenda is 8F, is Light the Night. So there is a few motions that would be on this agenda item. However, I would like to put them together. So if you are looking to vote yes and no on one of the 4 items, I would like you to let me know and we could separate the votes. But if you plan on voting yes on all 4 or no on all 4, we will do it as one vote. Is there any council members wanting to vote yes and no on this item? Alderman Bessie. What- Are you,
I'm sorry.
are you looking to vote yes and no on?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes and
all right.
no.
Okay, so we're gonna have to go ahead and do all 4 separately. All right, at this point, I'm looking for a motion to approve 8F in motion 1 to approve food trucks, vendor tents, and live music in the park in conjunction with the Light the Night event. I'm looking for a motion. Alderman Davis?
I will make that motion for 8F, Light the Night.
Thank you.
Motion 1.
Sorry. Second? Alderman Bainey?
I will second that motion.
Thank you. Discussion on this item? See none? Any public comment? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Bainey.
Yes.
Alderman Glad.
Yes.
Alderman Doherty.
Yes.
Alderman Massey.
Yes.
Alderman Cook.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Next item is 8F is item 2 to allow alcohol in the park aside from the designated areas adjacent to all marine rentals at Miller Point Park on Saturday, 9/27 from 4 to 10 p.m. I am looking for a motion to approve 8F item 2. Alderman Bainey?
I will make that motion to allow alcohol in the park outside the designated areas for that event.
Thank you. Second? Alderman Doherty?
I'll second.
Thank you. Discussion by city council on this item? I see none. Any public comment? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Bainey.
Yes.
Alderman Doherty.
Yes.
Alderman Glad.
Yes.
Alderman Massey.
Yes.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Cook.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Next item is item 8F. Item number 3, to grant permission to an approximately 10-minute fireworks show at 10:30 p.m. I'm looking 9:30, sorry. I don't know where I read 10:30. 9:30, yeah, 10 change, yeah. I'm looking for a motion to approve 8F item 3 as presented. Alderman Bainey?
I will make that motion to allow for a 10-minute firework display at 9:30, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Second? Alderman Doherty?
I'll make a second.
Thank you. Any public comment regarding this item? Any council discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Bainey.
Yes.
Alderman Doherty.
Yes.
Alderman Glad.
Yes.
Alderman Massey.
Yes.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Cook.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Next item on the agenda is 8F. Item 4 is to allow open container alcohol from 4 PM to 9 PM on Green Street from Waukegan Road to Route 120, Riverside Drive from Miller Point Park to Weber's Park, and the Riverwalk in its entirety. I am looking for a motion to approve 8F, item number 4, as presented. Alderman Benny?
I will approve that motion to allow open container alcohol in those designated areas for that evening.
Thank you. Second? Alderman Doherty?
Yeah, second.
Thank you. Discussion by city council?
Yeah, we're doing discussion here.
Yeah, I just said it. No, just discussion by the council? Alderman Bazey?
Will people be able to bring alcohol across 120? Will they physically cross the street with open container?
They, in this parameters, they would have the ability to do so.
They would be allowed to?
Yes.
Okay, in that case, I will not support this particular one.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments by council? Alderman Glab.
Yeah. I guess one of the biggest complaints that we have, as far as the open containers down by the Riverwalk is the fact that you get people congregating on the Riverwalk. And again, it's a river walk. It's not a place to congregate. If they want to have a beer and they want to carry it and they want to walk down that thing, is there some way that we could put signs up or something at that time? People that have the townhouses out there. And then you get people that sit on their rails and all that over there, the railings.
I do not see that.
I'm just saying that's complaints that we have. So
Sure.
is there some way that we could take in a couple signs here or there, whatever
What would you like
to
this?
alleviate?
I
don't
would
know,
just say on this
whatever it would take
particular
to
event,
alleviate that
I'm
problem.
sorry. I
Because
just
that's
said
the
on
only
this-
major complaint I've ever.
Shamrocks the Fox, I could see that.
On this
Maybe.
particular event, I will say that there probably is some congregation because people stop and they look at the fire globes. They will stop and there's they're art pieces, so they'll stop and then they move on to the next one. So there is some congregation in front of those fire globes, but I haven't experienced that in other areas. It's not nearly as busy as Shamrocks the Fox is, where we do have complete blockages at points, just by the nature of the amount of people that are at the event. So just in terms of your concerns, I haven't witnessed that.
I just don't know
in
what
relation to
the
this
sign would say.
Keep
Keep walking.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just
keep
don't know what
walking. All
I don't
right.
know what sign. I don't know what the sign would say.
Keep walking for Mayor Quinn.
No, don't put that on there.
You just said it.
No. But like, I don't know. I mean, what would
I
you-
don't know. I don't know.
I don't know
But
what
there,
you'd
there
put.
should
It's
be
fine.
something. Yeah. I'm just stating.
Why don't we keep an eye on it this year?
Yeah.
All right. I know I'll be down there and Bill will be down there. Chief will be down there. Oh,
Like I say, that's been the biggest
He doesn't
complaint
get the floor.
is the fact that people sitting on the rails and just, congregating. And let's just keep it moving, that's
Yeah.
what the
We can do
river
that.
walk's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a walk.
sure. Chief said he'll go ahead and make sure that they do that.
Oh,
Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah.
The
th-
chief's
this-
gonna be out there. You gonna have the sign that says Mayor Jet says keep walking?
No signs,
okay.
no signs. We addressed this at the past event and we'll have police officers out there, so we'll do foot patrols and we assured the homeowners of the townhomes that there wouldn't be people loitering or hanging out on their fence line and that we would politely encourage them to keep walking. And it wasn't an issue when we did it the last time. So we'll make sure that we're top of it this time too.
Okay.
Thank
That's all
you.
I got.
All right. Any other comments, question regarding, Alderman Davis, go ahead.
You kind of already made it, Chief Burke, your comment, but my question was going to be, how do you feel about this? Do you have any concerns with any of these? No, this is a repeat of a previous year. We've had no issues with this event. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments by council? Any public comment regarding this item? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Bailey,
Yes.
Alderman Doherty,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
Yes.
Alderwoman Bassi,
No.
Alderman Davis,
Yes.
Alderman Cook,
Yes.
Thank you, council. Next item on the agenda is 8G is a personal watercraft dock lease agreement. I am looking for a motion to approve 8G as proposed. Alderman Cook,
I'll make that motion.
thank you. Second? Alderman Davis,
I'll second.
thank you. Discussion by city council. Alderman Benny.
So I have some real concerns about the signage, and Bill and I have already talked about this. I have talked to a lot of the homeowners that live on the Riverwalk, and what was proposed, those vinyl signs, I just feel is very inappropriate for the public walkway on the Riverwalk, especially because there's so many people that do professional photos off of that bridge. It's such a high-end location for those townhomes, and they don't want to look at a vinyl sign in that location. So I would not be in favor of this unless we can come up with some other options for, I love the idea. I love the partnership with Nielsen's. I'm just not in favor of signage in that location on public property. So I'm hoping we can resolve that.
And I would agree. We'd had that conversation. So thank you for reaching out. I would agree with that. I provided those examples because that's what they had provided me. That's not the standard that we've set for the Riverwalk. I think in our downtown, you've seen a good example of some nice metal sign with perhaps a black surround, something along that lines. The other thing that I think is important is the location of those docks and where that signage would be, that we preserve the visual corridor, the amount of people that use that bridge and come over that bridge as you're coming over the bridge, or the pictures that are taken on there. There's a very nice, I guess, small brick paver pavilion, as well as the shoreline that has the boulders on it, and to not impact that visual as you're coming over. And that's why they're pushed down a little bit further. That is our property that backs up to the lift station right there. And so that's where I'd like to see this, that using that area there and staying away from that rock line already. So, but in terms of signage, I already spoke with them about having some agreement on what that signage is. We can certainly scale that down, more of a positive, more of a metal permanent signage, and not something that's going to be tattered and like in your face as those banners are. And for those locations, they serve them well. We have a
Here's
totally
different.
different feel for our Riverwalk and for our downtown, especially in that area. So.
Okay. Alderman Glab, go ahead.
Yeah. Number one, I take a look at this agreement and I'm thinking to myself, what's our benefit? What's the benefit? I mean, these couple floating docks that they will do nothing but deter the flow of water over there, as far as all the seaweed and everything else is going to collect up on those docks. We take all the responsibility. We have to pull them out. We have to put them back in, and then we're held responsible for any damages. So, I mean, it's a very poor agreement for the city to have to maintain all this. And what do we gain? And what do they gain? They gain these signs. They're looking for advertising out in the chain. That's what they're looking for. And for these couple docks, like I say, that it's just a totally poor agreement. I just could not see approving this type of an agreement. Why would we even not renegotiate with a lot of this stuff? I mean, they figure they're gonna bring in the docks. We've got to put the poles in, and we've got to take in and put them in. They're just ordering and delivering the docks, these floating docks. And then it's only what is it, like anywhere from 4 to 7?
4 to 7.
So what is it? Is it 4 or is it 7?
It's between 4 and 7 based on their availability and the space that we say, all right, these are how these are going to fit. This is how it's going to look appropriate. We're not going to go outside these parameters. But if we start with 4 and it's successful and we have room to add a 5th or a 6th, I don't think we'll ever get to 7, but I'd like to start small and have the ability to add on to that, especially with a 3-year agreement. So that's why it was left as 4 to 7.
We also look at the location where they're putting them on, and it's right next door to a residential property where they have a dock.
Yeah, every one of those homes has a dock all along Venice.
Yeah.
So it would be the same.
So
and we have a dock
we're
on the other
putting
side
those
of the bridge as well.
These watercrafts can park in a regular, regular boat parking spot wherever we have anything public.
They slam against the docks is the issue.
What's that?
They'd slam against the docks.
We also have a
And-
profile in the front.
Then they need to put the
So-
bumpers in.
It also,
That's all. They've
and
got-
I mentioned
they've
in
got
this.
boat bumpers they can buy.
I mentioned in the supplement that it is nice for this opportunity because the personal watercraft can park in these and it leaves space for a full-size boat to be able to utilize that. It doesn't work in the reverse. These full-size boats cannot park in the personal watercraft. It's just where these jet skis. It's like a motorcycle taking up a full-size spot downtown. It's very similar or any spot.
Again, like I say, we're taking all the responsibility for this. And all they're doing is supplying those couple docks for 3 years. And I just think it's a terrible deal for the city of McHenry for us to have to take all that liability on, and the fact that we have to take and clean them and maintain them and everything else. They do nothing but just supply those. They drop them off, and now it's ours, and it's our responsibility. So, no, I definitely could not vote for that.
Alderman Manning.
The city of McHenry provides boat docks because we see the value in having boats come into our downtown, and I live there, so there's plenty of them on the weekends, and it seems like more and more every weekend. What would the cost be if the city were to purchase one of those jet ski docks on our own?
Approximately $10,000 each.
Okay, so we're talking about a pretty substantial
At a minimum,
cost.
$40,000.
I don't have an issue with the docks themselves. I think it's great to accommodate, more people on other watercrafts. I see a lot of jet skis, but I've never seen a jet ski tied to a dock, actually. So they might be coming down there, but they're certainly not getting off and going into, into downtown. So I was just curious what that cost might be if we were to do that, and the value that they're providing.
They're not cheap.
Mhm.
Alderman Bassi.
Thank you. The last statement of the analysis states that this can be accomplished at no cost to the city of McHenry. So when you look at it, you see that the city of McHenry has to pay for additional liability insurance. The staff has to install them, maintain them, a gravel path, and install, maintain, clean, remove, and store the floating docks. So if you can explain to me how none of this, including staff working, doesn't cost the city.
There's no purchase costs for the docks.
So no purchase, but we still have to install it, maintain it, clean it, remove it, store it. All of those come with costs.
Correct.
So this actually does cost the city money.
Well, it will cost manpower for sure. No different than
Right.
any other dock or riverwalk that we have to clean.
Okay, so this actually does cost the city. Okay, the city has spent millions of dollars on the Riverwalk, and the Riverwalk Foundation is to beautify the downtown area. And I feel that a billboard sign is not appropriate for this area. People have talked about photos being taken there because of the beauty of it. I think that a billboard would deter from some of those beautiful pictures. I also think that the location of the docks is too close to the residential area, and it's an eyesore for the residents and the visitors. So unfortunately, I don't support this. Or fortunately for me, I don't support it.
Okay. Alderman Doherty.
Bill, how do we go about defining the sign? I'm all for it other than the signage. And I walk down there,
Sure.
you have opportunities there. You have that fence. When I look at that fence, you've got very tasteful signs on the little shops.
Right.
To me, if something can be codified that has a nice uniform and blends in, I'm for it. As presented, I get that you only threw those in there for purposes of looking at it, but I would certainly like us to tighten that up before I would vote for it.
It is one of those things that I was hoping for some input of exactly what, as a group, that you were looking for if this were to proceed. My vision is more when you see the no parking signs downtown and they're 9 by 12, something along that signs with a nice black post with the finial on top and a black surround of that post. That's the standard that we've set. I guess that's what I have in my mind of something that we would install there. So in terms of, if you're asking my opinion of what I would look to, I think that standard's been set, and that's what I'd look to proceed of something along that lines of, and whatever verbiage that we can do within that approximately 9 by 12, 10 by 13. So I don't know exactly what the size of that size is, but when you see the on our street posts down, or on our light posts downtown, you can see the no parking signs that are something like that, but not.
You have signs already on some of on the piers.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
okay, thank you.
Alderman Davis.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with Alderman Doherty. Have we talked to them about the signage?
I have.
And do they seem receptive to, here's what we want to do for a sign?
Very
We want a very large billboard or any of that stuff?
Very receptive to that,
Okay.
and especially the standard that we've set. I spoke to the gentleman, and he's more than happy to work with us and go with. And I had suggested that same, because I think we were in agreement of kind of the direction we were headed, and that's what I suggested to him. So that's what I believe will be agreeable to them as well.
Okay. And if we're doing, if they're 10,000 each and we do 4, that's $40,000. So for us, for the amount of work that we're putting in to get the $40,000, I think it would take us quite a while. So I don't see it as being a bad deal in that case. If we're just putting up a sign and it meets our standards, I would be in support of it. What do we need to change?
Yeah, we just modified
the
the
motion
motion
to put in certain criteria that it has to meet the signage.
Meet the same type of
requirements?
signage that we have on our Riverwalk now in downtown.
So that would be the amendment I would like to see in this.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments?
We get $40,000 worth of piers for 3 years. That's it, 3 years. And we have hold the liability for $40,000 worth of piers. Or if it's 7, then it's $70,000 worth of piers. Anything happens to those things, then we're responsible for it. So it's not that they're giving them to us and they're ours. So
Right, but don't
we
give it to
hold
me.
responsibility for $10,000 per pier because that's what they say they paid for. So, again, like I say, I just think it's a bad deal for us to have to maintain all that. If it's ours, it's one thing, but if they're not giving us anything, they're just lending those to us and that's it.
I would just say there's a couple things to clarify. The first thing being that we add that to the policy. No different than when we put in a new playground. That playground, we're not buying additional insurance for that new playground like the one we installed at Galway or any place. It just gets added to the policy. There's not additional insurance that we have to buy. The second thing that I think is very important that Attorney McCardle and I worked on was a no clause, no reason, 15-day notice. We can say this is not working for us, and that we can come pick them up. So if there were any issues arise, we're not locked into this anything beyond 2 weeks. And that's from an out, that's a pretty good out that everybody's agreeable to say, all right, we don't like them, come get them. There's no reason.
Go ahead.
So don't most of the piers, aren't they maintained by, we pay a company to maintain those piers? Or would this be separate from that?
These are PVC piers, and literally the maintenance is, we might power wash them maybe once a month.
Right.
Just to keep them clean and make sure they're looking nice. The poles themselves, they're a floating dock, so they rise and fall. We have to worry, the posts are, once they're in the ground, they're in the ground. There's not
And
much
there's
else we
some
have to
people that
do.
already have those there, right? Somewhere around there? 'Cause
Munson
I've
has
seen-
them.
I've
Munson
seen
has
them.
them. right
Munson
now.
has them.
Munson has
Yeah.
some? Okay.
And they only have 4.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to buy
And
one.
then
I don't have a spot to
I
park.
mean, somebody like Blarney Island, they have an agreement as well, and I think they have like 12 of them out there, or I think El Puerto's another one.
Right.
They have, I think, 9 locations on the chain overall that they have run this program with various entities.
Thank you.
And Andy, there's a lot of residents that live on that chain have them as well. So it's it really is going to match exactly what the residents on the creek have in their property.
Yeah, across the street. Or across the creek, I should. All right, any other questions, comments? Any public comment regarding this item? All right, so at this point, I'm looking for a motion to approve 8G, personal watercraft dock lease agreement as proposed, with modifying the signage to meet the criteria of the signage that we have in our downtown along the Riverwalk area of no larger than 13 by 15. Does that sound
As approved by the city administrator.
as approved by the city administrator? This is on you. So approved by the city administrator. All right, so that's the motion that's on.
Can I ask you a question
Sure.
first? I don't know how everybody else feels, but I would rather approve only 4. I feel like 7 would really look, I don't know. I feel like 7 is a lot for that area. And I can't even imagine it not encroaching into, if you did 7 of them into that.
We can modify it
Brick
to 4, and then
space.
if we see.
Actually,
Oh.
I think, Mayor, what we want to do is have that decision made by the city administrator 4 to 7, so she can come back here, as opposed to them deciding 4 to 7. I didn't know who.
We will decide how much we want.
I know, but I don't think it's clear on that. We make that decision.
So we'll make it so
Yeah.
it's, okay, all right.
Would that work?
Mm-hmm.
That way
Yep.
she can come back or send a note out or whatever.
All right. So once again, we'll modify.
It's all
All right.
on the city administrator.
It's all on the city administrator at this point. So if there's any issues, call
I'll
her.
take it. I'll take it. I got it.
No, I can just assure you that I mean, from the aesthetics of down there with that project, I have been fiercely protective of it. It's one of those, it's almost become like a third child, the Riverwalk itself. And so it's something that we're very proud of as a city, and I'm very proud of as a project that I've been able to be in front of for a long time with Riverwalk Foundation and a number of others. But it's certainly in working with the neighbors and our aesthetics and the standard that we've set, I think it's very important to me as well. So.
Thank you. So once again, 8G, looking for a motion to approve with everything being agreed upon by the city administrator at this point. So looking for a motion to approve.
I would make that motion.
Thank you. Second? Alderman Davis?
We already have a motion on that.
We did.
Oh, shoot, sorry. All right, so we're gonna have to go back on that. So who made the motion in second?
So the motion was Alderman Cook
Can we
and
amend?
Alderman Davis.
Can we amend the motion?
Can we, or both of those agree to withdraw, whoever she just said? Okay. And then the new motion would be a motion to approve the item 8G as proposed, subject to 2 amendments, one having to do with the city's decision in the number of floating docks, and the second is the sign design in accordance with the standards of the existing signs on the Riverwalk, all approved by the city administrator.
And also the amount of sign.
Yeah, no, correct.
All right, looking for a motion to approve. Alderman Benny,
I will make that motion.
thank you. Second, Alderman Cook, thank you. No more discussion on this item by council, I'm guessing? Any public comment? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Benny,
Yes.
Alderman Cook,
Yes.
Alderman Glad,
No.
Alderman Doherty,
Yes.
Alderwoman Massey,
No.
Alderman Davis.
Yes. Thank you, council.
Question really quick.
Sure.
When you withdraw on something like that, does that need to be in the notes, or do we just erase it like it didn't happen, or how do I do that?
I guess, this city council, I would put it in the minutes. I'll help you with that word even if you want.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. Next item on the agenda is 8H, is a water and wastewater rates. I'm looking for a motion to pass 8H as presented or proposed. Alderman Doherty?
I'll make a motion to approve item 8H, water and wastewater rates as proposed.
Thank you. Second? Alderman Glad?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Discussion on this item? Alderman Glad?
I just wanted to say that it's a slight percentage increase on the water. I believe the sewer stays the same, correct? So, I mean, it's been pretty well analyzed by our local here, and I think we're in good shape. Again, we don't just frivolously just start taking rates up, and nobody likes to vote for an increase, but again, there is a cost to it, and we need to keep it balanced. We don't want to wind up being in the hole and all of a sudden having to go sky high with the rates or something.
Agreed. Thank you. All right. Any other, Alderman Massey?
Okay, the difference that we're looking for is $57,059, correct? That's what you're short, and that's where the 3% increase comes in. Okay, in May, the city council approved the spending of $178,800 for a unified development ordinance, a companion document for the comprehensive plan. And this is for the purpose of assisting potential developers in identifying regulations. If the city has enough money to spend $178,800 to assist the developers, then the city has enough money, which is only 1/3 of that amount, to assist the residents by not raising the water taxes, giving them a break financially, as a number of households in this community are already stretched thin. So I will be voting no.
Just to be clear, that UDO is not paid with water sewer funds.
I understand that.
We can't commingle
them.
funds. So it's just to be clear, we can't use water sewer funds to pay for the UDO. And so these are just for water sewer rates, not general fund.
I understand.
Okay.
Okay,
Then what is your objection?
right.
If we can find money in the general fund for other things, I think we can find $57,059.
You can't mix the two. You can't take general fund money
You find it.
to water and sewer funds.
Okay, well, I'm still voting no.
Okay, perfect. Any, Alderman Glenn?
Did you say we can't take money out of the general fund to use for water rates? Rate funds? Is that what?
You can, but the council would have to approve that.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
No,
it's
no,
not,
I
not something we
I
would
thought
do.
somebody said that we couldn't do that, and it could be done if the council elected to. Just for clarification.
Yeah, just not on this item. no.
Just so that I'm just thinking that there's times that we talked about the cleanup that we wound up paying for and everything else. So, okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments by council? Alderman Davis?
On that 3%, is there like an average, like how much that would increase?
Yeah, so for an 8,000 gallon user bi-monthly, it's less than $6 a year.
Thank you. It's a Starbucks. Any other questions, comments? Any other questions, comments by council? Any public comment? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Doherty.
Yes.
Alderman Glad.
Yes.
Alderwoman Bailey.
Yes.
Alderwoman Massey.
No.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Cook.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Any staff reports this evening? No? All right. I have nothing for mayor's reports. Any city council comments? See none, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn. Alderwoman Bassi?
Yeah, I answered a man, woman.
Yeah. Second, Alderman Cook?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Massey.
Yes.
Alderman Cook.
Yes.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Doherty.
Yes.
Alderman Glad.
Yeah.
Alderwoman Bailey.
Yes.
Thank you, council. Everyone have a good evening.